Welcome back, folks. Gonna slide in some Gran Turismo 7 here and do things a little bit different for the next little bit. By popular demand, I've been requested to do a rally tutorial. Give me a moment here, I'm just gonna grab myself a drink. But yeah, gonna sit down and do a rally tutorial, as well as tuning tutorial. As you can see here, I got a 2017 WRX. This is my pride and joy that I take against the Group B rally cars on pro mode. Like, all the fucking difficulties jacked up. No traction control kind of thing. This is a street car that I built up, sitting at 500 and I can't remember, it's 527 or 572 horsepower, I think. But as you can see, I have it dialed in to handle everything, and yes, that was absolutely perfectly executed. The idea today is to get
awesome rally car.
Thanks, bro. What do we got there? Here's my phone there. Here we go. Just so that way I can respond here. I'm talking to RC Modified. So yeah, as I was saying, the idea today is to be able to get a couple of cars tuned live, literally cars that I've never rallied, and I do have plenty of cars that I haven't taken out in the dirt yet. I want to do an all-wheel drive, a front-wheel drive, and a rear-wheel drive, so that way I can hopefully get some tuning knowledge out to those who enjoy rally but are having difficulty with the game and the rally aspect. As you can see, this here handles beautifully off of the jumps. Very confident in jumping it sideways and drifting like you see in actual rally, as well as my tuning experience comes from playing a lot of rally games, actually. I started off with Dirt Rally 2.0 and started getting really fast there and started to learn how to tune, and I tweaked my tuning capabilities with the most recent rally game, EA Sports WRC, to the point where I've set several world record times in several of the stages on that game, in several classes, be it front wheel drive, all wheel drive, rear wheel drive, Group A, Group B, NR2, several 2017 vehicles, 1999 vehicles, like several records. So my tuning knowledge isn't just something that I whip up and try to, I don't know, fool people with. As you can see, this is what I just ran prior to coming in. So I will literally give you the tune to this car right here as it sits, as you just saw it driving. We can start off with giving you the tune, and then I'm going to go through the steps of tuning a vehicle. So if you want to take a moment and screenshot these, I'll take a couple seconds and show each page. And this is everything that I've got added onto it. And then this tune works. When I go against the Group B, I actually take this and I'll drop all of my power right out, and I'll come down to 281 horsepower. I can take it up against Group B cars and still win. But it's also that point, I'm driving the line. I'm not driving the showboat. If I crank up the horsepower, I am so much faster in the corners that I will do 360 entries, stuff like that. Just showboat stuff. But yeah, let's go buy a car. Look at that, 6.5 kilometers. Did 2 laps, I think. So I'm gonna take, like I said, I got several cars in my garage. Oh, I won money. Let's go collect money first. Got silver, I think, at the time. Hells yeah. Yoink. Haha, it's a great stream opener. Alright, let's go see what we can tinker with. I'll take something that I've literally never either driven or something that I've never taken off road. And I'm not going to do a rally car because I want to show the tuning of a street car. Yes, you can absolutely apply the tuning to a rally car and it will 100% within a degree work. You might have to tweak a couple of
My
little settings. But
G923 won't work on this game for some reason.
your G923 don't work? Oh, bro, that's what I'm running. That is unfortunate. I don't know why.
Registers everything except the steering.
Does it work in other games?
Any tips?
Does it run
Yeah.
in other games? It does run in other games, does it? Um,
I'm on PS5 as well.
okay. Here, let's do this. Drivetrain. Let's start off with. Where are we going first? Do we want to do a front, rear, front, four-wheel drive? I can do an MR, and I can do an RR. Tell me what you want to see me tune, and I'll tune something from that category. Um, I don't know. Have you calibrated the steering? Have you gone into the options and calibrated it? That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah, I got the G923 right here and PSVR2. Where are we going? What category? Let's go with the front first. And I haven't taken like 99% of these off road, so that's a front wheel drive. Are you kidding me? Yes, sir. Let's go with something with a little bit of power. Let's go with a Magani. Let's go with the Pujo. Puget! Alright. First things first, we need a few things. I'm not going to go crazy with parts. You can obviously do this tuning with any amount of horsepower. I am going to lighten it though. Shed some weight right off the rip. Actually, before I go spending money, yeah, okay. What do we weigh? 2,200 pounds? What's this going to do? That ain't even really worth it. We're going to increase the rigidity. Rally beats the shit right out of your car. I'm going to go with a low RPM turbo because it gives more torque. It's only going to, that lowers your torque with the high. So we're going to go with more torque
What
because
up,
you want
brother?
more torque off the rip. That sounds like demon blood. Yeah, buddy. What are you saying, bro? Coming in to watch some tuning. So I'm going to come over to racing because I'm going to get the fully customization suspension because I customize everything. Let's go with some quicker shifts.
Not much.
Transmission and suspension, sorry. Where are the dirt tires? We need dirt tires and snow tires. There's going to be a rally racer. Yeah, stop on a dime. Anti-lag because I like how it sounds. Racing exhaust. Air intake. Manifold. Racing brakes. Racing pad, sorry. Brake balance. Oh, limited slip. Can't forget the diff.
Probably about to get that map I was talking about last night. Going see how many recovers I can do.
Fair enough, fair enough. I'm going to be in this for a little bit. I got a request. Let's give it a cam slap. Max power 286. 269 foot-pounds. Yeah, that would be a peppy front-wheel drive. I like to wide body my car, which means new rims. I might join you in a little bit. There we go. Got the perfect wheels for that. Yep. Wide.
I'll start it up on multiplayer so you can join whenever. You might have to download something though.
Bro, just take what we were using last night. Why download something else, motherfucker?
Might live stream to why not?
Shit. No, we're not gonna go with downforce. You don't need any downforce with this car. Change the hood pins. You want a tow hook? Nah.
Cause some of them say you have to use a crane.
I'll leave 208. Red already. I'll edit delivery some other time. I'm not gonna get into that. Yeah, I also do livery editor too. This is my race suit.
Nice looking car. Clean.
Can't see it very well. I don't even know how to get into a photo mode for that, but alright. Actually, I'm not even gonna go right into the tuning right away. I'm going to take it and I've got snow tires on it. Shit. I'm going to put dirt tires on it. And I like to go to Fisherman's Ranch to tune because it's got the big jumps, and that's what I tune off of is the big jumps. Just change the tires to dirt so we can get into the map, and we'll go from there. Afternoons, that way we can see what's going on with the suspension. Alright, so right off the rip, what I'm going to do is just take it for a quick drive, do like first 4 or 5 corners just to see how it handles, and then we're going to go from there. But I can almost guarantee to make it handle over the jumps better, I'm going to have to raise the suspension 100% for sure, and then potentially adjust a bunch of other things depending on how it handles. Feels really bouncy right there. Suspension definitely needs to be lifted. Transmission's tall as fuck. Turns in nice. It's not terrible. Let's jump up here though. Yeah, there's a lot of wobble back and forth there. Alright. Couple of things I've noticed. Yeah, those tires are super crammed up in those wheel wells. We'll fix that in a second. So I like to do, like I said, I like to drive first few corners and then I like to watch the replay for a minute just to watch what the car is doing as I'm steering, braking. Here. Everybody wants to see this. Let's go in and turn display all. There. Yeah, I go to Fisherman's Ranch because it's literally like the Nürburgring of rally in the game. So if you can tune and handle Fisherman, your car will handle the other courses perfectly. Fisherman throws so much at you. Yeah, there's almost no suspension. No suspension cushion at all. You should be absorbing a little bit better. And we'll fix that. Front wheel drive is not terrible, especially in such a light car. But we'll increase the height quite a bit to give us some more ground clearance going over the shoulders. So, in rally, you don't want to tune anything like road. Whatever you learned about tuning for the road, scrap it. Okay, you got to scrap it. In rally, you want your car to be soft when you're riding dirt, when you're riding snow, mud, anything like that. So, from my own tuning knowledge, I'm going to, believe it or not, soften the front anti-roll bar. And what that's going to do is when I turn in, it's going to weight my outside front wheel by allowing the body to shift and put weight on that wheel, making that my traction wheel. I always do that in a front wheel drive only. They're tuned differently than rear wheel drive and four wheel drive. That's why I'm going to do all 3 cars. I'll leave the rear at 4 because you still want that a little bit soft, but you want a little bit of snap back, so that way when you flick your wheel, it comes back with the car, kind of thing. That's why it landed so nicely. The compression's actually really nice. This here is a little stiff. I would come down to about 40 front and rear. And what that is when you go through the whoops, it's how quick it expands, so that way it absorbs all of the bumps as your car is going over them. You don't want it to expand too quick, because if it expands too quick, then it's going to give you bounce. And you don't want it to expand too slow, because if it's too slow, at some point you're going to be bottoming out the suspension. So you need it to be soft-ish, but not too fucking soft. Natural frequency I'm going to leave. Camber I'm going to leave. I'm going to give it a little bit more toe out in the front. And what that's going to do is it's going to make it a little bit more responsive, so a little bit less steering input to get it to do what I'm trying to get it to do. Initial torque's fine. I'm going to bring this down a little bit. And what this is going to do is it's going to allow me to... let's come down 23. So what that's going to do is, as I'm accelerating and turning, it's going to allow more slip as I'm accelerating, and it's going to allow the inner wheel to rotate slower, the outer wheel to rotate faster, but me also to be able to turn in more and more so, allowing me to do a heavy turn in, whether it's a front wheel drive or an all-wheel drive. Rear-wheel drive, obviously you're going to tune just the rear diff, but your acceleration in the front and rear, I usually match them equally. We'll get into that in an all-wheel drive, but I usually match them equally. I'm going to take the braking sensitivity, I'm going to open it up even more, so that way, if I need to hit the brakes while I'm in a corner already, it's going to lunge. Your vehicle's always going to lunge forward. Put my fucking goggles off here. Yeah, your car's always going to lunge forward, and what that's going to do is it's going to make you understeer, because your front end is going to tend to push. What opening the differential is going to do is, as you're braking, it's going to allow you to continue to turn in within reason. You might still get a little bit of understeer. If you do, you might want to open it up just a little bit more, but it'll allow you to make proper turn-in adjustments while under braking into a corner, and it helps. The tuning a differential like this helps on the pavement as well. Also helps if you do go into, say you're driving a rear-wheel drive on the pavement, if you go into a drift, having it opened up like this in your acceleration, and I can even take it lower if it's not enough, but having it opened up in the rear end of a rear-wheel drive allows you to drift a lot easier, or at least catch your drift. 286 horsepower. $260 kilometers. We're going to go auto 240. Rally is all about acceleration, so I'm going to shorten the gears significantly. Doesn't necessarily have to be this ratio, but this is what I'm going with. And then I'm going to adjust each individual gear. What this is going to do, it's going to make all that torque, because I got 269 foot-pounds, it's going to put torque to the ground by having shorter gear ratios, as opposed to constantly roasting your wheels in all of your gears. So what I did is I extended sixth a little bit, and I'm extending each of the gears individually just to fill in the gap. And you want to ideally get your torque curve. As you can see, first and second's a little bit smaller than second and third. Second and third is smaller than fourth and fifth. Fourth and fifth are almost the same. Fifth and sixth are also almost the same. So You want to get them close to evenly spaced as possible when you're adjusting gears. And then your final drive, like I said, that's going to give you all of the dig. I'm going to turn my anti-lag on strong. I love the sound of a rally car. I like to brake really deep, and I adjust on the fly because I can. So we're going to take this for a few corners, and if it's good enough, I'm going to drive right up to the top and see how it does off the big jump. If it's kind of crappy, well, I'm going to come back to the drawing board and adjust what I feel wrong in the car, and I'll explain why I'm adjusting and what it's adjusting. Yeah, see, I can lay right into the throttle, turn in. Oh, yeah. What? Oh, that was driver error. I came through there that quick and that super, that's why. Okay, so what I feel wrong already, yeah, is my expansion is still too. My expansion is a little too expanding. When I land, I feel it's a little too stiff still. Or no, not my expansion, my compression. Durr. So I'm going to lower this. Come down 2 clicks. Now the fine tuning. And I do like to fine tune to get it to handle like a rally vehicle. It's absolutely not bad. Whoa! I must be sitting off center from my camera or something. Come on, why isn't it tracking? Hold up, getting VR issues. That sucked. Sorry, folks. It's a little bit better. A little bit. Might have been too soft. Yeah, you're seeing it right. I'm able to drive front wheel drive with significant amount of drift. I'm actually, so the toe in the rear, toe in the rear, because 0.2 in, seems to be fairly standard setting in the game, and it's almost like the developers got that. The toe in the rear versus toe out in the front. Toe out in the front is going to help me turn in. Toe in the rear, if it's drifting a lot, and this goes to rear wheel drive, all wheel drive, toe in a little bit in the rear, because it's over, like it's excessively spinning the ass out. It'll actually slow the rear end down enough that it puts it into a more controllable drift where it doesn't slide out too far. I'm digging the camber at 3, and the camber at I can't even. There's negative camber at 3. Front camber. What the camber does is when you're in a drift like this, instead of your wheel being 100% vertical, my camera didn't get turned back on. There we go. Sitting here using my hands. So instead of your wheels being perfectly vertical, the top of them are tilted in a little bit, which tilts the bottom out. So when you're in a drift, what that's going to do is it's not going to straighten your wheel out, but it's going to straighten the bottom of the wheel out to grip in the corners. That wasn't a bad landing at all. Yeah. Alright. Also, as you can see, it's starting to handle pretty decent now, and that was actually pretty quick tune. Everything that I did was from basic knowledge, and what I did to learn how to do all this, to be able to set it up like this, was literally each of those sliders, max it out, drop it down to the bottom, as low as it goes, both ways. Like, go all the way as high as the slider goes, go all the way as low as it goes, and then just adjust one of those bars front and rear the whole time, and figure out what it does for the car. Adding more compression is going to extend the wheels down, like I said, faster, sooner. The time was at 3:37. That's not bad, actually. My fastest time around here is 2:58. I think 2:58, 2:59. Ooh. Anyways, as I was saying, so I'm going to watch the replay and describe some of what the suspension settings are doing right here in the replay as we watch along. And I'll also put throttle inputs on and whatnot, and describe what's going on with some of the corners. A lot of it's full throttle because of the way the tune is set. So if you're watching these corners, yeah, you can see there's a lot more of a gap in between the tire and the wheel well. Makes more room for travel. But if you watch in the corners, I don't know, can you slow the time down at all? Yeah, sure. Alright. No, I was going to see if there's any way to slow it down. So if you watch... the suspension as it goes through its movements here, you'll see that it needs to quote-unquote exercise its motion through the full extension as well as the compression. And when you're tuning, you want to make sure, you see how I come up over the shoulder and it's not really upsetting the car. There's a little bit of rocking back and forth, but for the most part, the wheels are absorbing what they need to absorb. Watch. They drop, they bounce, they compress in, and then they push down, but as you can see, the body doesn't do a whole lot of movement, and when you're really stiff, if it's not tuned properly, the wheels also bounce so hard, the car does this. There's none of that going on, which tells me that everything that I'm doing with the suspension is getting to be pretty dialed in. Like I said, I ran a 337. It's not bad for a rear wheel or a front wheel drive at 200 whatever horsepower. It's got 280 horsepower. Considering, like I said, I usually run 3 minutes and 3 seconds on average with my Subaru. But the fastest that I ran here was with the Group B, and it was just under 3 minutes. So as you see, watch as I come up to this corner, I'm going to turn away from the corner, and then I'm going to turn into the corner, get on the brakes quickly, and then back into the throttle. So when you turn away from the corner, it's going to start a little bit drift, but when you turn back into the corner, it's going to whip your rear end around. That's called a Scandinavian flick, and it's one of the most useful techniques in rally that you can do, because you can literally go from corner to corner doing that, and what it does is it gets you into your drift before you enter your corner, so that way you can apex. Look, I do it right here, and then I come in for the apex. Fooling around a little bit because I was talking, but I Scandi flicked into here. Scandinavian flick, Scandi flick. And it allows you to position your car pre-corner for the corner. And in rally, when the objective is to get around the corner as fast as possible, it is, like I said, look, here's another one. So it's literally just a dab of the brakes when you're coming in full throttle, you turn, say you're coming into a left-hand corner, you're coming in full throttle, you want to be on your apex side of the corner, you want to turn away. As you're turning away, as soon as you initiate your turn back into the corner, you dab the brake, and what that's going to do is it's going to front load the front tires, it's going to lighten the rear end, it is then going to allow you to easily flick. So just little steering input, easily flick back to the other direction, and if you're getting good enough, it can actually set you up perfectly, like I said, for the next corner or the next succession of corners. The only thing I think that I might even do with that, watching how it was handling, thinking back how it was handling, so I might come up 2 clicks here and 1 click here. Make it, because when I was going through, what I felt in the wheel, when I was going through the shoulders with the compression, it felt almost like, instead of going this much through the compression like it should have been, it was coming up like that, going through too much of its stroke. And what coming up, actually, you know what, I'm going to come up 1 click. What coming up a click in each of those is going to do is soften it, yet make the rebound come back better. What the fuck? So, I'll take this, whoops, for a quick little rip. Set that back on, brakes. Yeah, that feels a little bit better over those. That handles wicked now. So yeah, that's a front wheel drive. I'm going to go get a rear-wheel drive. Fairly similar tuning. Numbers are pretty much, a lot of them are going to line up fairly well, actually. Drivetrain, front and rear. Oh, I'm going to make something wild. What do I got? Let's go with wild. I've already got this one here specifically set up for rally. I may have. um, no power, no car. Yeah, brandly new, never driven by me. That doesn't have to go wide body. She's a heavy beast, isn't she? It'll come down to 2,700 pounds. Get the dirt tires while we're here. Might need ballast in this one because rear-wheel drive. I always buy the power restrictor because I like to fiddle with my cars. Do we go super wild? Up to 400 horsepower? 530 foot-pounds of torque? Yeah. That's definitely a thing. That's definitely a thing. Make it sound pretty. Make it stop. Shift gears. And I'm going to tune it down a little bit. I'm not going to go 563 horsepower. Yeah, you know what? It don't matter. The tunes work. Universal horsepower is just a confidence thing. um, Obviously, if you start off with a slower car, I didn't buy snow tires, distracted. If you start off with a slower car, it's going to be a little bit easier to catch in your drifts. You're not going to have as much horsepower to deal with. It's still going to drift. It's still going to be fun. I just like the challenge. As you can see, 259.623 in the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo. Not lying on the 302, 303 average. I haven't run the Subaru in a while for time trial, but when I run fast, it's usually right around 303. as fast as I can get it. Alright, run it stock. Oof, I'm scared already. 5 speed. Wild. It's not going to need a lot. This is where the throttle input's really going to be noticed in the replays. Ooh, real bouncy. Yeah, and it ain't coming back. All right. That's real bouncy. Real bouncy right there. When it lands, I want it to land, extend, and then that's it. Just, yep, ta-da. Look what I just did. I landed. Alright. First things first, let's give it some more. Yeah, 160, whatever. These numbers don't matter specifically. You want to lift it. You can go right up to the max if you want. It gets a little bit harder to handle as you go too tall. I'm going to keep that at a 4. Come up to now we'll bring it down to a 3. I say that because with the rear wheel drive, because they're the drive wheels, you want them to squat. And if it's a soft rear sway bar, anti-roll bar, it actually does a lot better job than a stiff one when drifting, because it allows you to sit there and keep it pinned essentially harder and longer. In the old muscle cars anyways, I haven't tuned for drifting on a street car, but old muscle cars, rear wheel drive for the drift and dirt, it really helps. Don't take this for pavement. That surprises me right there. It's got that much toe when it was stepping. Let's go with this. This is probably why, though. So I'm going to bring this down drastically lower than the front wheel drive because it's a rear wheel drive, and they tend to oversteer quite easily under throttle. I'm going to bring this down also. With that, opening everything up allows more throttle input with a little bit less twitchiness in the rear end. It goes for an all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, or rear-wheel drive, front-wheel drive. Obviously, front-wheel drive is going to be less twitchy in the front, but more steering input allowed under throttle. 230. The gears weren't terrible. I'm going to bring the final drive down a bit, not touch the gears at all. And come down to about there. And I got to remember that it's got all of the torque, 574 of them. Nothing I did change the PP. My PP stayed the same size. I swear I just got out of the pool. Adjust my view here and take it for a little drive here. Whoop, 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 whoop. A little too hard. Let's go. Still real loose in the rear end. Maybe not. Feels a lot better. I feel more confident getting into the throttle sooner. Oh, here we go. Ooh, it handled that off camber quite nice. That, not so much. Okay. We can fix it. So that bouncing that I was doing, that's because for how tall it is, the expansion is still too high by a lot. And because let's not have the front end dip quite so low in. Whoops. I don't want the video pause. Fuck off. Whoa, too much. All the beans. Ooh. Ooh, the SN still needs a little bit out of it. I know what the car needs. I know what it needs. So because it's a V8 and it's so front heavy, I'm going to take and put. See that? See that? Just made my pee-pee grow a little bit bigger. Now watch the drifts now. Alright, adjust this camera view. Let's go. Ooh. How does it handle the jumps? Yeah, the rear still needs. The whole car still needs. It's bouncing too much still. Which tells me I'll deal with the wheels. up against my chest. Whoa! Clip the wall. I'm gonna keep going. Full throttle, he says. Let's go! Also, biggest thing about learning, okay, so I'm showboating right now. I like to showboat. I get bored with just running the line, and I like to throw a lot more drift. If you're looking to get a good line in a rally, you want to drive like I'm driving right now. In a rear-wheel drive, at least. Four-wheel drive, you can obviously afford a lot more slip. But with a rear-wheel drive, you're looking for times, look for speed. Try to use a little bit less throttle application. But whoa! Okay, so to avoid that, I could have lifted off the throttle before I went over the jump, and that would have stopped that. The 360 spin. Three-wheel drive, and I should have initiated it sooner. Here, let's go back. Call it, I fuck it up my first try. Fifth gear. Fucked up the second time too. This car is different than my Challenger. It's a little bit longer. A little bit harder to do. Alright. Challenge accepted. Third time's a charm, right? I'm not going to take off like a dick though. I'm going to try to bring more speed over there. Bounce, yeah, slow speeds, damn. Alright. So, in a rear wheel drive, 360 entry. I fucking overspun. Anyways, when you learn how to drift, really good, which is what the replay of this one's going to show. You'll see that there's times where you can hear that I'm full throttle right here, and then I'm partial throttle right here, kind of thing. And that's because you know, okay, I can get right on the throttle, That's all I experienced when to put it right to the floor. But for the most part, you want a nice controlled drift, you only want to be about half to 3/4 throttle. You want tires spinning, but you don't want tire roasting, if that makes sense. Can I drift right to the floor? Yep, absolutely. Does it work? It does. But not as good as bringing a little bit more traction to the drift by in and out. This car still handles a little rough through the bumps. It would take me some more analyzing of the replay to watch exactly what it's doing. I can feel what it's doing, but I want to see so I can tune it out of where it needs to be tuned out. Not go on a whim and adjust something and it be the wrong thing. Now obviously an old muscle car is going to still bounce a little bit because of the weight compared to, say, a smaller car. So you could probably take a smaller car with the expansion. Oh shit. So you can take a lighter car with the expansion. You could probably bring the expansion down to sometimes, depending on the weight of the car, down as low as 30, 31, 32 maybe. You never want to go so soft that it doesn't expand. It doesn't land terrible. It doesn't look like it's bouncing excessively, I guess. Yeah, the awesome. Okay. Let's go. Go about here. Let's watch some of the throttle application here. So if you watch some of this, you see that I'm light on brakes, never wanting to lock the tires up. I've got ABS on, I don't even know what it's on. Traction control's on 0. Always run traction control on 0. As it debilitates your acceleration. If you have to use traction control, I suggest traction 1 then. Reason being is there's no traction control in a real rally car. It is literally all throttle input, all adjusting the throttle as you go. You have to learn to adjust as you go. As you can see, it's still drifting out when I was doing soft throttle here, but it's a little bit more controlled as opposed to stepping way out under heavier throttle. Also, as you can see, I'm short shifted here. I was in 5th gear going full throttle through there. If I downshifted to 4th, I'd only been at half throttle. Forgot about that. See, you could probably 1 click down on the front and rear. It was a decent 360, it just wasn't. Yeah, see, I'm full throttle right there. I think one or two more attempts and I would have had this perfectly, because even this one here, the final attempt was blotched a little bit. But it is one of the corners that I continuously will do a 360 spin in. 360 entry. So there's the Scandinavian flick. You go one way, flick it the other, into the drift. Yeah, I tried to throw it a little too hard. That's all that was. Also, another reason I run brakes so heavy to the front is in rally, you want your ass end the lightest in a corner because you want to be able to control your drift with the throttle more. Alright. So there's a rear. Wasn't perfect, but there's a rear. Ooh, I'm gonna get my marathon and an all-wheel drive. What time is it? 6 o'clock. Not bad. Okay. Um, Anything with a custom livery has definitely been in the dirt already. I could do a Bugatti if it allows me to put dirt tires on it. Oh, let's do a Focus because I know. Oh, let's go with a Corolla. I like Toyotas. I don't like Ford. I don't even know. Now I've already put stuff into it. If it's wide bodied already, let's go with the Ford. Where'd that Focus go? Something I haven't used yet. Obviously, I'm lying. The fuck? Yep, I'm lying. Oh, it's V8 swapped. Oof, that's why. Actually, you know what I can do? I can wipe the spec sheet. I'm alright with that. What all did I buy for it? Okay. Good enough. Oh, settings. Whoops. Ooh, I don't have a diff in this. Okay, we can work with that though. We can work with that. There, let's give it all the beans then. What do you got if your engine's off? 590? Weak. Alright. Let's come up to 170 here. So with an all-wheel drive, it's going to be tuned a lot different in the anti-roll bar department because you want it to handle like a front-wheel drive in the front and a rear-wheel drive in the rear. So you're going to bring, yeah, see, I come up to 5. I hate that I have there. It's still. There we go. There we go. This works. Fuck, it's still gonna give me. Whatever. I'll use slightly different values. So anyways, I'm gonna lift the front and the rear as per front wheel drive and rear wheel drive. Compression, I don't even know which direction I went with this. I'm going to come down to 38. This is going to match up. Obviously, I adjusted that. So I'm just looking at stuff. Brakes, carbon, pads, racing, brake controller, -5. That's why I adjusted. So I adjusted the rear toe, which I almost never do because I didn't have a differential to adjust. That being said, the values of the stock differential, I'm kind of impressed with because it's fairly open. Really open. It's not a bad thing. We'll try this. My compression and expansion is off still. So we'll see how it handles with just lifting it. It's very tail happy. Yeah. Very tail happy. Oh. I'm going to say I probably tuned this quickly just off the top of my head and never sat down and fine-tuned it just to do a certain race or something. Already I just corrected what it was doing. Oh, get out of it. Too much speed. Alright, let's go. See what I can run for lap time. The gears are shitty. Ooh. Yeah, I gotta get rid of these gears. But I also don't like how it handled over that big jump. Can't adjust the gears. Okay. Gears are minor. I gotta drive the gears a little harder. I'm the showboat. Feels good. Not quite. Yeah, as I've demonstrated, you get the front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, all wheel drive. They all handled differently, and there's techniques to drive. Front wheel drive differ from rear wheel drive. All wheel drive, rear wheel drive are a little similar in the sense that you use the throttle to kick the ass end out, drift under throttle application. And push the track to its limits. Shoulders are there for a reason. Use and abuse them. Doesn't matter if it's fisherman's, if it's windmill, if it's suck. Woo! There it is. could have been 6 feet deeper. Get around that corner just a little bit better. Yeah, don't matter what course you're on though. Like I said, I come to Fisherman because it's got all of these corners. It's the Nürburgring of the rally world in the game. But this big jump, because if you think about it, Catalonia's got a big jump in it. There's a couple of jumps in windmills, but nothing nearly as big as this. So I like to send it off the top of that jump because, like I said, it is really large. And if you haven't known this, it launches harder this way. If you didn't know, now you know. And yeah, I know the course both directions. Like, let off the throttle and drift. Oh, that was too deep. Might as well show the replay of that. Whoops. What's going on here? Cancel. Turn this camera back on here for you folks. My bad, didn't realize it was turned off. And we'll turn on the display info. Describe a little bit of that. So, with the all-wheel drive, it's really a lot more between the brake gas. You'll see when I enter a lot of slow corners and high speeds, I'll brake gas, like potentially back and forth. And that's literally to adjust, to adjust the car. Most of the time, I'll use the throttle, but there's times where I'll get on the brakes again just because it's absolutely required. Suspension don't look too bad. Would have been cool if I 360'd up that hill and around the corner though. And what I'll do is I'll take this Focus before I do head out, because I'm going to head out here like real soon. But I'll take this Ford Focus and I will take it and pit it 3 laps on Lake Louise against Group B cars. Hopefully setting it up cooperates with me. Just to demonstrate that the tune that I did here works on other stages, courses I guess. Still a little bit too much expansion going on by the looks of the way that it bounced right there. As you can see by the throttle application, it's not always full throttle. Had to get that part in there. Come on now. Alright. Whoops. Settings. Don't have snow tires for it. Okay. That don't mean nothing. 3-star. Woo! Actually, I got a 6-star yesterday. Yesterday or the day before. All right, put this VR on one more. Just give me a second here. Actually, it's going to take me a moment to set the race up. Whoops. Grip reel. Early dawn. Actually, you know what? Nighttime. I'm gonna make it real fucking hard on myself. All right. To show you how universal it is, time to get cereal. Put my racing gloves on. Oh, I looked away while it was loading in. Terrible idea. Why is it on traction 1.5? Really benefit from a transmission and better gearing. Whoa, almost rolled it. Can I get first place by 3 laps? We'll see. Oh, I hit the wall! Shit. Robin's racing. Say that until he fucking comes up and slams me. White flag? Oh, that's going to be a perfect corner to show how you brake transition. The way that I got the differential set up, that'll be perfect to show you how you can lock the brakes up and turn in and still... I went damn near full brake while turning right there to do those aspects. I wanted to drift the whole outside wall. Winner! Yeah. Hopefully everything that I've given pointers on was good enough to give tips on both a little bit of driving style as well as what? Okay. Just had an idea. Perfect. I think one of the biggest things that most people don't understand about rally is you use your throttle to steer. A lot of people try to use the brakes and try to use patience. Nah, don't use patience. Use throttle to go out and around. As you can see, I'm full throttle, sending it sideways. But I also entered the straightaway quicker because I was already roasting my tires. Where now as you can see, the computer's got to start gaining speed, right? watch that. That was smooth. Fuck. Fucking slick as shit, bro. That was a good one. Is there any questions on any other tuning? Did I get all the points that needed, that are required for all the different vehicles? MR and RR, you can obviously tune very similar. You're going to have to tune them similar to a rear-wheel drive, like a front-rear. And the only reason I didn't do a 360 to take the lead is because he was where I needed to be, right here. As you can see, I tried my best to get out in front of him. I couldn't, so I did what I could to get into the corner instead. And even though I didn't do a 360 entry, I'm only a 10th off of my fastest lap. So that tells you right there that the 360 entry is smooth as fuck on this course. Love it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, let's go back here. Let's go back here. So watch as I... Where is it? These corners right here. So watch as I'm going to come into the right. I'm going to be full throttle. I'm going to be pretty heavy drifting, but I'm going to hold the brakes. I'm going to cut to the left. I'll actually spin the camera around so you can see that. And then I'm going to continue holding the brakes until the ass end starts to drift. I'm going to get right back on the throttle. The throttle. Heavy brakes. Get the ass end kicked out and back into the throttle. Whoops. Show it again. Slide, 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 slide. Heavy brake. Get her spun. Once it gets rotated, back into the throttle. Very similar to here coming up. as you can see, there's a lot of the time where I'm letting the drift of the car be my brakes. That comes with experience. If you need to hit the brakes in a straight line, slow down a little bit and drift a little bit into the corner, like use your acceleration through the corner, that what I'm doing comes with experience. Whipping it as hard as I do, as fast. Don't expect to sit there and take the tune and be perfect. Like I said, I run world records in WRC. So rallying is, I'm on my way to a rally school in my near future. I want to be a rally racer. Whether I make it pro or just do it for hobby and beat the shit out of a car, I could care less. I want to become a rally racer. I'm taking everything that I'm learning in this racing sims, applying it in real life. I've got a pickup truck right now, and you better believe this winter I've been drifting the shit right out of that truck. Not to this extent, because it's my daily driver, and I can't afford an $80,000 bill, insurance or not. But I am taking everything that I'm learning in the games and applying the driving techniques into real life, that's for sure, using a steering wheel. No, sim racing isn't a direct copy of real life, but it is transferable. And there are other people who agree, who have started to do rally career, and they love what sim racing has done for them. That being said, for everyone following along, smack that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Guide people to my channel. Hopefully the information helps you. It's a little bit longer than I expected. I expected about an hour, but with tuning, you can't put a time limit on trying to get stuff perfect. As I was saying earlier, I do liveries. We'll spin my token here, and I'll show you a couple of the liveries that I've created personally. That's another tutorial I may get into someday. Ooh, 5,000. 10 grand? 5 grand. That other one must be 2,500. I don't think I've ever gotten that one. Yeah, we'll go into the showcase here. It's the easiest place to demo it. My items. Shared items. There we go. So that's my racing outfit. Suit. Along with my Roadster. Photo finish with a buddy of mine. I think I was in the old .016. The old Honda 660 stock. It was a fun race. It's my Halloween. That Viper, the green one in the back, took me probably 7 or 8 hours to finish. The other two took me about an hour and a half, 2-3 hours each. I can't remember exactly. This one was fun to do. Just simple dragon, but the flames, there's like 10 different flames coming out of his mouth to make that one big long flame, to blend it in proper. This is the Viper that took forever. Forever and a day. This took easily, I don't even know. This one was fun to do. Buddy of mine gave me an idea to finish this one up. This one's not finished. Learning to do quote-unquote airbrushing techniques. This is my helmet. I love my helmet. Military tribute car. I'm a little bit handy at the whole game, really. There's a lot of stuff that you can't see because I ghosted it into the paint job. There's troops along the side, helicopters along the side, bombing shit. Fucking, that's what the flames are by the front. That's an explosion. There's a tank on there somewhere. There's a lot of detail. This one took forever. This one took 16 hours. I don't know if I'll ever do a car like this again, but I'll probably do a car like this again. Each of those is a bat. And this is literally called the Bapisto BAT. So I figured why not do it up like the Batmobile. I hand placed every one of those bats on there. And they're smaller in the front end. Like right around the center, they're tiny. And we got Thor, or not Thor, sorry, the Hulk. Handy with it all. And not every rally goes according to plan. That's Harley Quinn. But yeah, until next time I'm on, folks, like, subscribe, share my content, get me known. Like I said, I enjoy tuning cars, racing cars, rallying cars. And anytime I'm on, people want to pick my brain about tuning, they certainly can. This here's a 787 horsepower Corolla. Fucking weapon. Whew! Peace out, folks.